The Myers-Briggs personality test is one of the most popular and well-known personality tests out there. It divides people into 16 types, ranging from the most rare, the INFJ, representing only 1.5% of the population, to the most common, the ISFJ, which makes up about 14% of the population. Today on Charisma, we're going to help you figure out what your Myers-Briggs personality type is. Before we get into the 16 types, let's take a look at how the test categorizes people according to 4 dimensions. Dimension 1. Introversion versus extroversion. This dimension refers to how people derive energy. Introverts get energy from being alone, while extroverts become energized from their external environment, which usually means being around other people. Dimension 2. Intuition versus sensing. This looks at how people view the world around them. Those with intuition are imaginative and focus on ideas and abstract concepts. Those with sensing pay more attention to logic, facts, and practicality. Dimension 3. Thinking versus feeling. This component looks at how people make decisions. Those with a thinking dimension make decisions with their head, while those with a feeling dimension make decisions with their heart. And lastly, Dimension 4. Judging versus perceiving. This last dimension looks at how others see you. Do you come across as organized and logical? If so, you might have a judging quality. If people see you as being spontaneous and flexible, you might be categorized as perceiving. Now that you have an overview of each category, let's dive into the types. Number 1. ENTJ, the commander. If you love nothing more than the feeling of accomplishment, you may be an ENTJ. This personality type excels at creating a vision and then executing that vision to the very end. Because of this, ENTJs are often known for their ability to accomplish anything they put their mind to. And as indicated by their commander nickname, ENTJs also make great leaders because of their charisma and natural authority. Number 2, ISTJ, the inspector. Some of the most successful leaders and innovators throughout history have been ISTJs, including Warren Buffett, J.D. Rockefeller, and Queen Elizabeth II. This is because ISTJs are known for being methodical, thorough, and dependable. If you're an ISTJ, you'll achieve your goals no matter what gets in your way through calm, steady progress. You also have a strong respect for tradition and law and order, which you may bring to both your career and your personal relationships. Number 3, ENTP, the debater. Do you have a secret, or not so secret, rebellious side? Do you love engaging with others through debate? If this sounds like you, it's a sign you might be an ENTP. If you're an ENTP, you'll likely have opinions about just about everything and not be afraid to voice them. In fact, you love nothing more than a great debate, even if your opinion is the odd one out. Being a rebel, you're not afraid to go against the status quo, and are even less afraid to argue your reasoning as to why. Number 4, ISTP, the crafter. Are you someone who values learning through hands-on experience? If so, you might be an ISTP. This type often ends up in a career path that allows them to employ their problem-solving abilities like engineering, science, or construction. But your desire for hands-on experience doesn't only extend to the workplace. You also like to experience the world directly in your free time, often through adventure or thrill-seeking behavior. You might be drawn to skydiving, bungee jumping, surfing, or another activity that helps you get your adrenaline up. Number 5, ESTP, the persuader. Are you outgoing, logical, and a quick decision maker? If so, you might be an ESTP. Because you're action-oriented and very sociable, you are likely skilled at professions like sales, where you can make use of your gregariousness and ability to thrive in a fast-paced environment. You don't spend a lot of time overanalyzing a situation and don't make decisions based on emotion. This allows you to be an efficient problem solver and someone who's not only great at, but enjoys putting out fires. Number 6, ISFJ, the protector. If you're known as being someone who stands up for those you love, you might be an ISFJ, otherwise known as the protector or the defender. If someone you know gets hurt, you'll jump to help them, even sacrificing your own needs for those you love. Because of this, ISFJs are often thought of as being selfless. But this isn't because you want a pat on the back or praise for your behavior. It just genuinely makes you feel good to care for others. Number 7, INTJ, the architect. Otherwise known as the mastermind, INTJs are incredibly logical and strategic in their way of approaching the world. If you're an INTJ, you have high expectations of not only yourself, but also those around you. Good enough doesn't cut it for you. You expect excellence. While this can sometimes be taken to an extreme and lead to harmful levels of perfectionism, most of the time it means that INTJs find success in whatever area they pursue. In fact, INTJs are some of the highest earners out of all of the Myers-Briggs personality types. Number 8, ESTJ, the director. What do George Washington, Judge Judy, Michelle Obama, and Margaret Thatcher have in common? They're all ESTJ personality types. As you can see, this personality type, also known as the director, makes great leaders. This is due to their ability to get things done quickly and efficiently and their skill in managing others. So, if a friend has ever joked that maybe you should run for political office, it might be a sign that you're an ESTJ. Number 9, INFP, the mediator. Do you spend much of your time daydreaming, coming up with inventive inner worlds and stories? If so, you might be an INFP. Incredibly imaginative. INFPs have rich inner lives, and if you're an INFP, you love spending time in this inner world. Look no further than at some of the most famous INFPs like J.K. Rowling or William Shakespeare to understand how vibrant an INFP's inner world can be. Your creativity, however, is not a means of escaping from reality. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's instead derived from a need for a higher calling or purpose, which you communicate through your creativity. Number 10, ISFP, the artist. Like INFPs, ISFPs are also highly creative and have rich imaginations. Where they differ from INFPs, however, is in their sensing dimension. This means that ISFPs are more present-focused, whereas INFPs are more focused on the future. Because of this, if you're an ISFP, you'll be more focused on how to extract value from the present moment rather than from the future. You might, for instance, spend extra money on an experience like a concert or an art show instead of investing it. To you, it's much better to enjoy the present moment rather than stress about future events that may or may not happen. Number 11, ENFP, the champion. While they're certainly capable of accomplishing big goals, ENFPs are nicknamed the champion for their ability to help others realize their goals. Often motivational speakers, life coaches, or teachers, ENFPs find purpose through helping others succeed. And what's more, if you're an ENFP, you're naturally great at this because you're gifted with the ability to be organically inspiring and motivating without seeming like you're trying too hard. Number 12, INTP, the thinker. Adept problem solvers. INTPs try to organize and make sense of the world through their logical side. If you're an INTP, you'll likely prefer time to yourself where you can be alone with your thoughts. You enjoy problem solving and because of your thinking dimension, believe that problems are best solved with logic rather than emotion. Because of this, INTPs often excel in positions that require the ability to problem solve, like science or engineering. Number 13, ESFJ, the caregiver. Are you always trying to figure out how to bring more harmony to your environment? Are you great at resolving conflict amongst others and getting people to work together? You may be an ESFJ. The reason you're so good at bringing harmony to an environment, whether that's a contentious work meeting or an awkward social gathering, is because of your hyper-awareness of not only the feelings of others, but how their feelings are interpreted by the people around them. This allows you to pinpoint others' needs and then work to make sure they're being met. Number 14, ESFP, the performer. Do you thrive in the spotlight? Are you known as the one who always has the best stories and is the best at telling them? If so, you might be an ESFP. This type is nicknamed the performer for a reason, as they often draw to entertainment professions like acting and music. However, despite their love of being the center of attention, this doesn't mean that ESFPs are self-centered or unaware of others' feelings. In fact, ESFPs are quite the opposite, as they're known for being incredibly caring and sensitive to the feelings of others. Number 15, INFJ, the advocate. One of the rarest personality types, INFJs are often known for having contradictory personality characteristics. They are logical, yet highly emotional, imaginative, yet also very analytical. And despite their perfectionist natures, they can come across as very laid back. What is consistent about them, however, is their desire to better the human race. Famous INFJs include Mohandas Gandhi, Jane Goodall, Florence Nightingale, and Eleanor Roosevelt, all of whom are advocates for improving the world around them. So, if you're drawn to careers like social work or medicine because this provides you with the ability to help people, you might be an INFJ. Number 16, ENFJ, the giver. The counterpart to the rarest Myers-Briggs type, the INFJ, is the ENFJ. The ENFJ differs from the INFJ in their extroverted dimension or their need to get energy from others rather than time by themselves. Their similarities, however, lie in their caring nature and desire to help make the world a better place. If you're an ENFJ, you're likely an attentive, natural leader because your passion to improve the world naturally inspires those around you. Speaking of those around you, have you ever wondered if you're smarter than the people around you? Watch this next video to find out if you're smarter than most people. Keep watching Charisma to learn about that topic and many others.